Welcome to Yat Home Cooking, New Orleans style. Mark Stevens here again. Hope you enjoyed the first video. This is the second video that we're going to do, and it's going to be chicken and sausage gumbo, right? So everybody in New Orleans knows how to cook a good gumbo, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so the ingredients that we first need, or we're going to use, right? And I have it all laid out. So smoked sausage, this is about 1.5 pounds, right? You can use any smoked sausage that you choose. But I found this guy out in Georgia, Georgia Boy smoked sausage, really good. And guess what? It's only like $3.99, so it's a really good deal, and it tastes very good. And we're going to use thigh, so chicken thigh, and I'm going to show you because we're going to use chicken thigh, and we're going to boil it, and this is going to make our chicken stock instead of using chicken stock in a carton, right? I like to make my own chicken stock, and it really brings out the flavor. So this is about 6 thighs with the bone in, because the bone, it gives you that good flavor too, and then we'll debone it and put it all back in. So seasoning, right? So you get the bag of seasoning. It has the onions, the bell pepper, and the celery. So it's a blend. It's called the seasoning blend. You can actually use fresh, but I'm just going to use the frozen types to save on some time. But if you use fresh, you just want to use a bell pepper, 1 onion, yellow onion, and some celery. It's called the Trinity. We call it the Trinity in New Orleans, but seasoning blend, it's basically the same. All right, always salt, pepper, parsley, Creole seasoning. I chopped up some fresh celery for it, and then also garlic. So about 5 cloves of garlic, and then we'll just chop this up, and then we'll put it in also. And then we're going to use about 10 cups of water to start. Alright, and then, so the main thing is the roux, and how to cook the roux, and what's the texture of the roux. So I'm going to show you guys how to cook a New Orleans style roux, right? And that's going to be, what that consists of is a cup of flour, okay, just regular flour, and then some vegetable oil, and it's going to be a cup of vegetable oil. And what we're going to do, we're going to combine it. I'm going to salt, pepper, and put some Creole seasoning in it just to season it a little bit, and then we're going to work it. So the roux, and it's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes to get that consistency. So we're going to get that started first. So what we want to do is we're going to put a cup of oil. Right, a cup, we'll measure a cup out. It's a lot of oil, right? So we'll pour that in here. And I like to use a black iron skillet. And I think I mentioned that in the last episode, that it really gets hot, it stays hot, and then it makes a good roux, right? So what we want to do, we want to get this big boy started here. Okay, get that started. And now you probably hear my lovely dog in the background barking, but it's okay. And then we're going to take the flour, right? Just regular flour. We're going to pour it in here. Okay. Put that to the side. I like to take my Creole seasoning and just a couple of little dabs in there, as you can see, just to give it a little flavor. All right. There goes my crazy guys again. Salt. just a couple of twists, and then pepper, just a couple of twists in there, and that's about it. Maybe 3 little twists. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of seasoning because we don't really want to season this up. All your seasoning is going to be mostly in the gumbo with your fresh goods here. So just kind of work it in here. And once this pan gets hot, you will see it's starting to change colors and starting to rock and roll. And this is the pure base of your gumbo. Without a good roux, you don't have a gumbo, you know. So, and to do it right, now you can buy this in a can if you want. If you want to cheat and buy it in a can, they have some good roux out there. I mean, there's a lot of roux that's already made that you can purchase. But I like cooking my own roux. I guess it's just a New Orleans thing, you know. It feels like I'm cheating if I get it in a can. But you can use a can if you want, or a jar. I think they come with little glass jars and all. So you want to just start working this, working it. You know, you may have to add a little oil to it. And once it starts heating up, and the color that you want, I like a consistency of a nice cocoa brown. Cocoa brown would be the way to keep it. But the main thing is you don't want to burn the roux, right? So you got to constantly stir this. And like I said, it's probably going to take a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes once it gets rolling, that it's going to give you that consistency, right? So when we just keep rolling and keep stirring this up. So I'm going to, so you guys got that, right? You got to constantly stir it up. So just constantly move it. As you can see what I'm doing, just kind of flipping it, kind of moving around the pot. Because once this black iron pot gets hot, it's going to really start bringing that color to it, you know. And it's all about that cocoa brown, that nice, kind of like a chocolate icing, you know, like a chocolate icing. You want that consistency of it. And this is going to start bubbling up, you know. And just kind of just work it, you know. You just kind of listen to your music in the background. Take a little sip of your favorite beer, because I like to drink beer when I cook my gumbo. And once you get this rolling real good, as you can see now it's starting to bubble up, right? Starting to bubble. Starting to get a little light. See how that black iron pot's just, it gives you a nice consistency. You know, once that pot gets hot, you can really start working this. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back in about 20 minutes, and then I'll show you the consistency of color, and then we'll start adding different things together. Okay, so we'll be right back. And I'm still stirring, right? So as you can see, it's starting to get that consistency, right? So, and I've been doing this for about 10 minutes now, so it's starting to get that color. We still got a good ways to go, right? As you can see, it's turning, and you know I said chocolate, but it's really a caramel. You wanted like a nice creamy caramel look to the roux, you know, because that's when you eat a gumbo, that's what you're really tasting. You're tasting the roux and the consistency of the roux. So, you know, if it tastes like a burnt taste, well, they burn the roux. So you cannot burn the roux at all, else it'll ruin the whole flavor. So that's why you just have to keep stirring, keep stirring. So in the meantime, so I put about 16 cups of water in here because it's a big pot and it's going to make a big pot of gumbo, right? So I put 16 cups of water into the pot, and I have it on a medium heat. And what you want to do is, I'm going to stop this for a second. You want to just put your chicken thighs in here, right? So just put these in here and just let them cook like that. So because once this roux's cooked, what we're going to do, we're going to put it on the side. And then we're going to start putting everything else together. But you have to get this roux to that consistency, because this is really, it takes the longest in your prep work. Cooking the roux, you know, that's why a lot of people say, oh, gumbo takes so long, because yeah, if you're cooking it from scratch, this is the reason why it takes a while, because of the roux. And like I said, you can do the shortcut and get it in a jar, but who wants to do that when you really want to cook from home and do that New Orleans style yak cooking, right? That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'm going to do this for about another 10 minutes. By that time, the chicken will be boiling, and it's going to make my my chicken stock. And then from there, we'll start putting it all together. So I'll see you in about, we're back. As you can see, still stirring. And then I have my chicken boiling right now, and that's making a great chicken stock. But as you can see, and not to lie to you guys, this probably is taking about 30 to 40 minutes to do now. So, but look at the color. From the beginning when we started, right, to now, you see that consistency, that caramel color, and that's what you want to achieve. You want to achieve this color right here. And you see how I'm stirring like in little circles here? And that's all you want to do. You just kind of just want to stir it around, making sure that the flour doesn't burn on the pot, right? So you want to mix the oil and the flour, giving that consistency, movement. Because once you burn the roux, it's over. You're going to have to start all over. And you don't want to start all over, right? So we're going to cook this down for maybe another minute. And what we're going to do, we're going to actually transfer this just into a bowl and have it hold it on the side. And then we're going to start prepping everything else. And we're actually going to put the ingredients back into the black iron pot. We're going to slice up our sausage. We're going to take the chicken out of the pot, dice it up, take the bone out, slice it up, and then we're going to put it into the cast iron, fry that down a little bit with the ingredients, the onions and the bell pepper and the celery. We're going to season it up again, salt and pepper partially, and then from there we will put everything in a pot, and then we'll have it cooked down for probably, I guess, another hour, hour and a half. So this is done, guys. So I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm going to grab my pot holder, because the cast iron pot is very hot. And I'm going to grab this here. And what I want to do is I just want to put all of this in here, into my bowl. Okay? Just put it in here, because we don't want it to cook anymore. Right? Okay. And I need a let's see what I'm gonna do here. I'm going to pour it out first. Most of it out. Okay. Let me just put this down here real quick. Give me another pot holder, because it is a little heavy. And then we're gonna pour this in here, like that. Get all of that in there. And then I'll take it like this and pour it in. Okay. Actually just take the rest of it and spoon it in here. You don't have to get every little bit, but every little bit counts, right? So put that in there. Okay, so this is our roux. I'm going to put that right there, and as you can see, it's a nice golden brown, right? Alright, so what I want to do now is just rinse this out a little bit, and then we'll start putting all of our stuff in there. Nice and steamy. You can use another pot if you have it, right? But I just like to cook in my black iron pot, and as you can see, it's still hot. can just clean this off real good, and then we'll start adding some more goodies to it. We'll put this back on the stove, and then we'll start prepping that again. So get as much roux out of there as you can. And the good thing about utilizing a black iron pot, it keeps the seasoning in there, so it stays well seasoned. And that's why I like to utilize it. Alright, so let's take that. And we'll put this back on the stove. Alright, so now, put this back in here, we'll leave one out. And let's check on the chicken. And the chicken is, if you want to come check out the stock. So the chicken is cooking in here, and as you can see, it's making the chicken stock. And like I said, it's all natural flavors. We don't use anything out of a carton per se. So, so I like to cook my own stock, and the way to do it is to boil your chicken thighs with the skin on it, because we're just going to take the skin off and throw that away, and then we'll have just a regular chicken meat, take the bones out, and then we'll process it from there. But what we want to do now is we want to just cut up some more ingredients, and like I said, I have these garlic, so we're just going to slice it up like this. Throw nice and into little squares like that. Just chop that up. And I tell you what, the black iron pots are heavy, so be very careful when you utilizing them and trying to pick them up and move them around. Like I said, you can use any kind of skillet. Just make sure it's nice and deep and hot, and to cook the roux. But the main thing of cooking a roux is that it's the stir, and you don't want to burn it. That's the biggest part of cooking a gumbo is the roux. Once you get the roux cooked, like I said, this roux took me about 30 to 40 minutes to get it, but you see the consistency of the color, and that's the main thing. And you can do all your prep work in the beginning. You can do all of this in the beginning, and then you'll be, it wouldn't take you so long. So I'm going to cut up my sausage now, and this is 1.5 pounds, and it really has good flavor. But you can utilize the best, any of your sausage that you want when you're cooking this. But I like to use 1.5 pounds, just because you're cooking a big pot of gumbo, and you want to have a lot leftovers, right? And a gumbo this size, it's another week. It's another week meal that you can eat off of this for actually a week. So I mean, all of this sausage for $3.99. You can't beat that, and it really has good flavor. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slice them up like this. Okay. Slice. And little bitty chunks like this. That's all you need. Just little chunks like that. Okay. We're going to slice all of this up. Once I slice it up, we're going to take the chicken out. I'll show you how to debone the chicken. And then we're going to put everything back in here. And then after that, we'll pour everything back into the pot, stir it up, put the top on, and then your gumbo is cooking. So we'll be right back in a minute. I'll cut this up. Alright guys, so we're back. So while we were on a little break, I took the chicken out of the pot, so you can see my chicken stock. It's nice, and you can see it's got that little gold tint to it, so the chicken stock is going. I deboned some, so I got one left to debone. So what I do is I just take the skin off the chicken, and then I just debone it, right? Kind of simple. We just kind of, it's a little hot, so you might want to take a knife and kind of just, strip the meat off the bone, the chicken off the bone. Pull as much as you can off of it. But I like to keep the bone on because, like I said, it gives it that added flavor. Alright, so what I'll do from here is I'll start chopping this up, right? And just throwing it in this pot here, in the skillet. It's cooked, but now we want to kind of season it up, and we want to slice it up a little bit and cook it just a little more, right? With the sausage. So we're going to cook all of this together with the sausage. Just cut it up into pieces, shred it up a little bit, and throw it in here. So we'll cut all of this up. Make sure it's all good. Throw it in as you go. And it's going to be like a nice and hearty gumbo. It really is. Like I said, you can eat off of this a good bit or feed your whole family. Or this could be a something that, you know, when the pandemic is over, because we're all going through the pandemic, but you can have your friends and family over. And this will be a nice dinner that you can serve to them, you know. So I'm just slicing all of this up. And once it's in the pot too as well, it's going to cook down, and it really adds a good flavor too, especially if you just, you know, you're cooking chicken and sausage, which are really good. We're going to try to just shred this up a little bit, break it up a little bit. Throw it in here, use your hands, get down and dirty, because that's how we like to do it in New Orleans, a little down and dirty, right? So throw all this in there. And what we're going to do too as well, we're going to put the sausage, we're going to put all the ingredients in here. And we're going to cook it all down. And then from there, once it's all cooked down, we're going to add it in that pot that's boiling with our chicken stock. Right. Always want to wash your hands. I think that's the new thing now, right? The American way. Wash your hands, wash your hands. All right, so we got that. We're going to crank up the fire again. Get that going nice and hot. All right. Let's get that up. There we go. Nice and hot. So now we'll just start adding everything in. So we'll add the sausage, right? Put that in there. We're going to add all our onions and all that good stuff in here too. Throw all that in there. Okay, so basically, you know, smoked sausage is, it's pretty much cooked, right? But we just want to heat it up and get some, get the flavor mixed in with the chicken. And I like to do this. Now some people might just automatically throw it in the pot, but I like to cook everything separately. You know, even though you boil the chicken, you still want to take it out. You just boil it. So now you want to add a little flavor to it. So I think by adding the flavor to all of this here, instead of just flavoring it into the pot, makes a better gumbo, you know. So what I'll do here, and it's all about sight, right? I don't really measure a lot, but you kind of can tell. So I'll do a couple of shakes here with the Creole seasoning, and you really want to get some Creole seasoning. And this is it right here, Zatarain's. I think that should be in every grocery store. Then we're going to do just salt and pepper, right? That's all we really need to do, because we have all of the ingredients that all of these vegetables are going to bring out the flavor too as well. And then we'll just shake, just go around like that. That's all I'm doing, just one time around. Because we're still going to add salt and pepper to it. And we're still going to add all of these ingredients to the gumbo, right? So we'll do that. All of these are done. This is the secret sauce here. And it's very hard to find if you're not in New Orleans, but try your best to find it. It is called Gumbo filet. It may look like fowl, but it's filet because it's French. Okay, so remember that. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to stir all this up and cook all of this down. So we're going to stir it up for a little bit. We're going to cook this for probably a good 15 minutes. And once we get this cooked down, we're going to come right back. I'll show you the end product of how it's supposed to look when it's cooked. So like I said, about 15 minutes, cook this on the stove before you put it into the pot. And then we'll come right back, and then we'll finish off the gumbo and let it rock and roll like that. So be right back. Guys, so this is the final step into making this New Orleans style gumbo. Well, it actually is a New Orleans gumbo. So, and with the stock, you know, when you're cooking the chicken, you're going to lose some of that water, right? So I like to add another cup of water in here into your stock, just to replenish it, right? So, and then the next step, while this is cooking, as you can see, and it smells unbelievable, and you can probably smell it through the camera too. But and you see how you just want to kind of heat up the sausage and cook all of the onions and the bell peppers and the celery down, and you see how the chicken shreds up. So this is the consistency that you want, right? So now we really want to take the roux and put it in here before we put all of this, because we want to mix the roux with the chicken stock, and then you can see the consistency of it. So what you want to do, you just kind of want to fold this in here. As you can see how it comes out, the roux? That's all the goodness, right? And what you want to do, you want to mix that in there. And then, because, you know, the flour kind of hardened up a little bit, but look at the color of it. It's outstanding. And that's the color that you want. You want it to have that caramel brown. And I tell you what, when you cook in this roux, it just smells amazing. So I'm going to put that in here. And you know what it does, guys? I don't know about y'all, but you know, on Sunday mornings, my mother used to wake up and she used to start the gumbo. And is it a process? Absolutely. But I tell you what, the aroma throughout the house, throughout the whole day on Sunday, because she would put the gumbo on, and we would just, around lunchtime, we would have this, you know, after church. So, but what you want to do, you just want to mix it in here, mix it up real good before you add all the ingredients in there. So as you can see, I'm going to have the camera lady. It ain't a cameraman, it's a camera lady. All right, there's no discrimination here. So, check it out. I mean, that's the kind of the consistency that you want for your gumbo. That color, right? When you add it with your chicken stock, and then when you mix it all in here, that's how your gumbo, that's how you want it to look, like that. Okay? So that's all mixed in there. So now we're going to take all of these ingredients and we're just going to pour it in. So I'm going to turn off the fire. I'm going to grab 2 mittens because this pot's pretty heavy. And then we're going to add it in. And then we'll mix it up, and then we're going to season it a little bit more. And then we'll take it from there. So let's go this way, guys. And I like to just set it like that. And then I'll take my spoon, push this up just a little bit so we can enter it all in, right? So if you want to bring that camera over here and kind of check it out, we can just pour it in, right? We're just pouring it into the gumbo. Pouring it in, all the goodies, plenty. But all of this is going to cook down in here, you know? So all of this will cook down to basically nothing, but all of that good flavor is going to be within the gumbo. And there's so many variations of gumbo, but a basic, nice gumbo is a chicken and sausage gumbo, right? So, alright, so we got that all in there. So we'll take this pot, we'll move it off, and then we'll mix it all up. So we'll mix it up nice and good, Okay, so what you want to do, you want to cook this on a low flame for a good 2 hours, really. So that's why when people say, God, you make a gumbo, it takes so long to do. Yes, it does. You can do the shortcut and get all the preservatives, but if you want it the real deal, the real gumbo, this is what you're looking to do. This is how long it takes, you know. So from here, I'm going to put some parsley, right? So I'll just shake some parsley on the top, just like that. You can see it's a good bit amount of parsley. And then I'll take some salt and pepper, and I'm probably going to do about 10 turns on the pepper and then 10 turns on the salt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'll do that same with the salt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. So the next guy here. This is the secret. Filet. You ever had a filet gumbo, right? This is it. It's just like it's a filet. It's just brown, this greenish color. And all I'm going to do is just shake it. So I'm just going to shake this, and it's probably about 2 tablespoons. Yeah, about 2 tablespoons or a tablespoon. It just, I'm going to say a full tablespoon of filet. Alright, so we're going to mix all of this up and mix it all up. So probably about after 45 minutes or so, we'll taste it, and then if we have to add anything to it, we'll add to it. So take a break, take a sip of your wine, a swig of your whiskey, or down a beer, right? And the gumbo should be ready by the time you do all that good stuff. So we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna put the top on, and the top, low flame, right? Cheers. We'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so we're back. So the gumbo has been cooking for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And I think that's a pretty good time to come check it out, see how we're doing. But if it tastes as good, I think it'll be ready to serve. So we're going to open up the pot. As you can see, woof! Boy, does that smell good. So you can see it's all boiling up. And I like to mix it up really good. Alright, and then what I want to do is just take a little taste of it. A little soup spoon. Just like that, guys. See that little brown, that nice tone for the gumbo, right? Really good. I'm going to taste it just to see if it has the flavor that I want. And if I do have to add anything, it's really not going to be much. So let me see how this tastes. Very good. So what I like to do is at the end, so I'm going to add just a little more parsley, and we're going to serve this up, guys. So add some more parsley to it. Just kind of do a little shake, as you can see it in there. I'm going to do about 3 turns of pepper. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. Okay, and then we're going to just hit it with 3 things of salt. 1, 2, 3. And I think that should do it, guys. So we're going to mix that up pretty good. Get that in there. Mix it up. As you can see, I mean, look at that, huh? Look at the ingredients. The chicken's nice and cooked. Got all that good flavor in it. Lots of sausage. Now you can do more chicken than sausage. You know, it just depends on what you want to do, right? You know, so so how we're going to serve this up is jasmine rice. Love jasmine rice. especially when you're cooking it. You know, it really smells really good, and it brings out a good flavor. So pick up a bag of jasmine, put it in your rice cooker, or cook it however you cook rice. And so I always like to use jasmine because it has that rich flavor to it. It brings out the flavor in the gumbo too as well. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a nice scoop of it. We're going to mix it up, and we'll take a nice scoop, and we'll kind of lay that all around like that. Maybe just a little more juice, because I do like to have some juice in there. You know, I like mine kind of soupy. All right. Oh. So there you go. So you can top it off with some fresh parsley if you like. But how we say it in New Orleans, where you at? Well, I'm in the kitchen, cooking New Orleans style. So we're gonna sit down and enjoy ourselves. A little Crystal hot sauce, ice cold beer, and a little saltine crackers. Mix this up real good. Tell you what, can't get any better than this. Cheers, guys. I appreciate you hanging with me for a little yak cooking, home style in New Orleans, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.